Warm-up routines are the most stupid trend in Fortnite competitive. All these people that have their hours-long warm-up routines with everything possible in it. Kovacs, aim training maps in creative, free building, peace control maps in creative, and so on. This is a waste of time. You're trying to warm up those like specific skills that it takes to perform well in fights, right? So why don't you load up Fortnite and just instantly hop into 1v1 realistics, where you actually warm up and practice all these small skills in one go. And on top of that, you are actually warming up the unique shots and angles you actually take when fighting someone. You just overcomplicate it so much. On top of just all that time wasted warming up that you could be spent on like actually doing good practice, your goal should be to spend as little time possible wasting mental energy from warming up, because you want to be practicing the most important things at your peak potential of skill as much as possible, right? Because you got to realize playing this game, even if it is just warming up, you're not even focusing that much, it does take mental energy to do. So why drain your mental battery even if it's just a little bit before your like most beneficial task or like practice of that day, which will usually be scrims? Because I don't really know how to word this, but like when you're playing scrims, you want to be at your like peak potential, because when you are at your peak potential, you get to see the mistakes you still make even when you are at your peak potential and playing insane. Because when you aren't like 100% mentally there and you're playing scrims, you are actually still making a lot of mistakes that you've already learned from before. But when you are at your 100% peak performance level, like I said, most of the mistakes you make are new ones and you get to learn a lot more. Okay, so what should I do then? Not warm up? It's definitely different for different days, but for days of tournaments, I recommend literally just doing nothing except 30 to 40 minutes of realistic 1v1s against your duo or just anyone that's similar skill or better. And yeah, nothing else. You want to preserve as much mental energy and focus for that tournament. Like a lot of people might think the best thing to do for tournaments is literally to warm up as much as possible and get as good as possible, right? But the reality is in tournaments, it's not actually going to be that much beneficial to like be kind of warmed up more in mechanics, because it's not even that important in tournaments, let's be honest. And even though it is like a little bit important, it kind of helps. Being mentally preserved and like 100% locked in and focused is way better. Now, for a normal day of scrims, yeah, you'll play better if you only play 30 to 40 minutes of realistics before it, like I said, for a tournament, but you probably want to practice the game before that, right? Because then all you're going to be doing is scrims. But for this, I'd say kind of the same thing actually, just instantly go into realistic 1v1s with a good or similar skilled opponent, and then instantly after that, just go into a session of good useful practice. Whether it may be like a good session of keying everyone in rank, some tokens / wages, or just maybe another good session of 1v1 realistics against a really good opponent. And then notice what happens when you do this type of structure in your days. The majority, like 90% of your time, is spent only on practice that is actually super beneficial for your tournaments, and in those practices you're getting like lots of different things worked on. Like I said, in ranks, like keying everyone, that's just working on like every skill when it comes to fighting, and then scrims is every skill when it comes to playing a tournament. You're not wasting like hours now on like these random creative maps and whatnot, and you're still not wasting that much time on warming up.